Hey everybody, this is Minion and Kathy for another dose or a good flush of the toilet talk. What we got today, Kathy?
Well, I just want to say it has been an exciting week, hasn't it? From the get go on Sunday, it has been one thing after another. But I'm going to say this, I think it all is in your mind, right?
Yes, it is. Yes,
Minuan
it is.
had a huge thing happen on Sunday with a deal. He's going to talk about that. Monday, he was diagnosed with the stupid COVID. Tuesday, I go look at a property and my whole day is tanked because I get a flat tire. I mean, it's just how the world goes. Now, some people would have given up at Sunday, wouldn't they?
Oh yeah.
But you can't give up. You have to just be grateful or thankful for what you see that happened good, and then you keep it moving every day. Like Tuesday, I was irritated. I was irritated beyond belief, but I was grateful that A, we were safe. Like we didn't have a blowout and a major accident. Nobody went to the hospital. So I had the day taken away. That's okay. We sat in the car, we talked deals. I took care of some correspondence, a couple phone calls. I mean, that's what you have to do. And I'm grateful after hearing about Minuan Sunday that he has the um the oh wow, I can't think of the word.
Team
He has
fortitude.
the tenacity. He has the tenacity to stand up for himself and his team and turn it around. He has the skills and the knowledge set to be able to make a phone call and get it done. And I'm going to say this, doing all of that, he is a true real estate professional. And I think that that is key. We have to remember we're professionals here. And so we're going to talk about what happened, and we'll talk about the non professionals in this story, and we're going to talk about the professionals in this story and play it out that way. All right. Well, it's great to see you. I'm so happy to be here, week 2 of Toilet Talk. Let's hear about what happened in your world on Sunday.
So I'm one of those people, I'm still involved in my business. Even when it's set up with systems and automated, I'm a perfectionist, so I'm still involved.
Can't step
So
away.
can't step away. I've stepped away
Shouldn't
a
step
couple of
away.
times, and some things didn't go right, and there was a lot of money being missed. In this instance, we have gone back through our entire database for every lead. I mean, every
Hmm.
single lead. We put them on a follow-up campaign. Some people did not respond until after the third touch of text messages, whether it be a phone call, something like that. So, and I'm still going through all of them. Some people
And
I like they
honestly,
don't.
3 is not bad.
Yeah, I mean, it was just funny that some people wouldn't respond to after the third text, and they were getting one each day for 3 days in a row. And so, sorry if you hear my dog, he wants to play right now. But anyway, his daddy's been laid up for 3 or 4 days, so he's like, "Come on, I hear you, let's play." But anyway, one of the leads, I always accept the blame for myself, but in this instance, I'm speaking to what I later find out to be an elderly wholesaler. And I kind of picked up on something, but the connection was bad. And when she gave me the addresses, they wouldn't come up correctly. And so I kept digging, and seems like we had a zip code number wrong or something like that, but I finally got it. So I this is up in the Greenville, Spartanburg area, and I have a team member who runs that market for me. Actually, two, but one of them is located here. Anyway, from where he lives in Spartanburg to where these two properties are, it's a little bit over an hour. You know, There's gas money, that kind of stuff. You know, people don't like running up and down the road chasing properties for no reason. All right, Memphis, you got to stop, big boy. So I finally pulled the properties up, and I'm thinking they're good prices. She says, "Well, I'll take 40,000 for this one. It's a duplex." And she says, "I'll take 60,000 for this one, and it's remodeled." Now, usually, I don't have to just ask the question, "Hey, are you the owner?" Because usually I see it on tax records. So when I start looking at the tax records, I'm like, wait a minute, it's a man on each one of these, and the names don't match. She was like, "Well, they're mine," or something like that. So speed the story up. Oh, here we go. Here we start to catch the lies. So this so-called duplex is not on the tax records as a duplex. It's on tax records as a single family residential. Strike number one. Strike number two, I'm no fool. She started telling me, "Oh, you can get I think I have the paper in front of me, or it might be in the kitchen." I said, "Well, how much do these rent for?" Because I always like to see what they're gonna say. I'm still gonna go to section8.com, look it up. I'm still gonna go rental meter, look it up, things like that. We're in some little podunk town outside of Greenville, and it's a 2-1, and she's like, "Oh, you can get 8,900 section 8." I'm like, huh? For a 2-bedroom, 1 bath in the sticks? Okay, cool. I don't argue. I let her talk. And I said, the single family house, about how much does it bring in? Because I'm talking to her like she's the owner. So I think she said something like 1,200 or something for a 3-bedroom, 1 bath, and it was remodeled almost all the way. So I had my guy get over there, and I said, "Correll, FaceTime me when you get over there." So he calls me up. He can't even walk in the duplex. Oh, let me back up. So when I pull the property up, now catch this one. When I pull the property up on Google Maps, there's always that little image capture date down there. So I see a burned out house, okay, on Google Maps from 2013. So I have my due diligence started or done almost. So Corell is on the phone with me, and I see her, the wannabe wholesaler, and then I hear him talking. Now, according to my guy, she presented this actual homeowner as like her son or something. Yeah, supposedly. That's neither here nor there. Watch this. Google doesn't lie. People do. So now I've already seen that there's a picture of the house online, time-stamped May 2013. It is now November 2021. I said, okay, cool. So how long has the house been burned? Oh, just 3-4 years. So when you start lying to me, you have no idea you already pushed me out the door. You either pushed me out the door, or you're gonna make me come back with this insane low offer.
Can I just say one thing? So this is somebody trying to sell to you, and you don't like it. Imagine you're the wholesaler or the investor trying to do this to a person who's trying to sell their house. It is imperative that we are always upfront and honest. And if you don't know, just say, "I don't know. I'm going to have to research that and get back to you." Or
I'd much rather you say that to me than to lie to me.
I think it's just been 3 or 4 years. It could be longer. I'd have to look at the records. Tell the truth. People don't like being lied to. So sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Not professional.
And then the way I have this woman's info, and I'm gonna say this to a lot of people: Be careful who's responding to your Facebook ads, because this is where this lady came from.
Mm.
The reason I have her contact info is because she filled out a form for one of my Facebook paid ads for sellers 2-3 years ago. And at that time, I didn't know she was trying to wholesale. Just sounded like an elderly lady. Said she had a house for sale, blah 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 blah. But she never said, "Hey, I need some help selling this house. I'm trying to JV it." Man, I know when I'm talking to another wholesaler. Okay, wholesalers come to me all the time for my properties because they're advertised out there. They're like, "Hey, if I bring you a buyer, blah blah blah. Okay, cool. We can work out a deal. Wooty wooty woo. Great, man. Don't lie. Don't sit there and say you're the end buyer when you're not. And let me tell you why. That's why half of the world in America hates wholesaling. And that's the other reason why everybody's going to have a license or certification within the next 2 or 3 years. And I don't care what state it is, because of that kind of crap right there.
I
It
agree.
burns me up when people do that.
Yep.
Hey, there's plenty of deals that the homeowner does not like the fact that I'm wholesaling, does not like the fact that I'm making some money. You know what? Move on. Somebody else will.
That's right.
Now, when you get go ahead, Kathy.
And 9 chances out of 10, when they don't like what you're saying, it's because somebody else has lied to them. And when they get burned with that, they could come back because they know you told the truth. Just saying. We had that happen a couple years ago when we wholesaled a house. The lady, we had talked to her multiple times. The lady felt that our price was too low compared to what she was getting offers from other wholesalers, and she tried a couple of them. In the meantime, she's wasted like a whole year of time because she's tried with other people. And in the end, she came back to us because she realized that we told the truth from the beginning. We got her deal done in it took us right around 30 to 35 days. So just tell the truth and expect the truth from the other side. And if you start getting maybe take a step back.
I've got a couple of funds on my list, and they're picky. They don't buy everything, but when they buy, and they usually give me what I'm asking for it, or even above. The thing about this lady is, all she had to do was tell the truth, and I'd have been like, I could help you, because we've gotten pretty good about getting rid of properties in small surrounding towns. That your average, put it like this, you're in Baltimore. Most wholesalers don't look at selling out in Annapolis or around Annapolis, because they want it where they can just go right down the street, and that's the biggest pool of buyers. They can go post it on Facebook, but you don't see any Annapolis groups for investors because it's so small. Okay. But if they knew what they were doing, it's actually easy. Okay. It just takes a little bit of manpower. That's about it. And you can get them done. We had another deal where we had to go through 3 buyers. One buyer had to keep their deposit. Little house out in Roebuck, South Carolina. I think we sold that thing for $32,000. And another wholesaler actually wound up getting it for his own buyers and tacked on another 6. I'm not mad at him. Okay. But guess what he did? He told us up front.
See, there you go.
He said, "Look, man, this is for one of my buyers." And I said, "Wait a minute." I said, "You represent an equity fund or something like that?" He said, "Basically, it's a syndication of these people, blah, 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 blah. We closed many deals this year. And guess what? They closed on time when they were supposed to. We had the agreements and everything was cool up front. I have no problem with it. When you lie, that's where things go south." Okay.
Well, and when you lie, you don't have the right paperwork, and then you can't even get the deal done anyway.
Right.
So,
well, anyway, this lady for these two houses, my guy goes in one of them, and it's worse than what we expected. Meaning he couldn't even walk through
Oh,
because
wow.
you had to walk on joist. The joist had been replaced, but you still had to walk on joist. Like that's, and the man is on. He had some type of surgery on his leg or something. And anyway, he's on crutches. So now here he is, him and his girlfriend viewing a house, and you can't even walk across the floor. Okay.
Good to know ahead.
All the materials in the house, everything. So I'm kind of like, can somebody bite off more than they could chew? Because
Right.
that's always a flag to me that when we go into a house and they didn't finish it and all the materials are there, kind of like,
Does a couple
So
things, doesn't it?
yeah. So she starts, and I realize it later. I tell her, I said, Carell, she straight lied to us. I said, I actually got mad because I don't like that. Um, and so I started telling him, I said, okay, this is how we'll handle the situation. So he sends her some messages, and she's like, no, I told Mr. Menu and what I was doing up front, because at some point I remember him saying, he asked the question, and she says, well, he's selling it to me and I'm selling it to you. Okay. Nothing wrong with that, but you should have told me that up front. The duplex, I actually wanted to keep for myself. But when people lie to me, I'm just kind of like, man, what else is wrong now?
That's how I am. You tell one lie. How many other lies have you told?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't bode well.
No, and I'm like 40,000. Oh, and here's the other thing. The biggest thing was it wasn't a duplex. You told me it was a duplex when it was a single family home. Remember that old saying, trust but verify?
Absolutely.
Okay. You
Absolutely.
can tell me whatever you want to. I'm still going to go look. I just like that house we're talking about in Georgia. Okay, I do believe the square footage is wrong. I don't know how wrong it is, but guess what? I need somebody over there with a tape measure, measure it out, let me know.
Right.
And I do understand how the numbers got missed
Uh-huh.
with transfer of ownership of family members.
Absolutely.
And of course, they didn't say anything because it keeps their taxes lower.
Absolutely.
I wouldn't have said anything either. That's what people do in mobile homes. They
But
won't go ahead.
but here's the difference. Your lady in northern South Carolina,
Mhm.
she's hiding things. Your seller in Georgia, when you get in a conversation, he's upfront about things. So, that's the difference.
And then he finally,
Lies, hold on, I can't continue. The truth, okay, now we need to verify and keep it going. That's how it goes.
that's how it goes. So um, I let him deal with her, and I just said, look, we can help you out, but you don't have to come clean about everything that's going on because I can't be lied to.
Mm-hmm.
Because the attorneys that we use in that area, we've closed many deals with them. We're like family. And the last thing I want is them beating down my phone, menuing, what's going on? I'm like, oh gosh, no.
Yeah.
Like, because we do so in the person who the main attorney, he's one of those like I'm talking and like he's by the book. But
Yeah.
then he'll shut the door and he'll tell you, hey, next time you need to be careful about this. And if they say this or this, blah, blah, blah. Like I get true attorney time um,
Right.
with
Right.
him because we bring so much business. There's times he'll call me and he'll say, hey man, I started to notice something in your contracts that you might want to change. Cool. For the state of South Carolina, this could be construed this way or this way. It was one thing one day, it was so little. I'm so used to unethical people on the buying side that whenever I send over an assignment contract, I leave out the seller's information, like the phone numbers. Sorry, my dog is eating a bone behind me. I leave out the seller's contact information in case they want to try to go around me. Well, we had to talk about that one day. He was like, technically, you're not giving them the same contract that you have. So if somebody wanted to go to court, they may try to pick this little piece to death. I said, are you kidding me? Just because I don't want to give the phone number and the email address? He's like, yeah. He's like, as stupid as it sounds, I'm just telling you.
Wow. So, but yeah, he's right.
Because technically you're not showing them the same contract that you have. So you know what I did in the future? I just stopped putting the seller's info on the contract and just keep it myself. There you go.
There you go.
More than one way to skin a cat. You're still gonna get the same contract. I'm not asking for their info on the contract anymore. And the reason I did that before was to make the title company or closing attorney's life easier, because they always come back and say, hey, I need the seller's email address and phone number and address. It was just one more step. Well, now I'll just do that step.
Exactly. Because you're right. You have to protect yourself and you have to protect who you're working with. Because if a person's going to be unethical with you, then they're going to be unethical with who you're working with. And you don't want that. It does not reflect well on you. So if you can control things and keep things contained, it's better. Sure.
Okay. Yeah. So we're waiting to hear back what she says. So
wow.
I just the funny thing was I wanted to tell her so bad, like, I teach this stuff. How are you gonna lie to me? It's like I didn't fall off the boat yesterday.
Well, and here's the thing, people think they can be slick, and they might be able to be slick with somebody who's new, but hopefully, and that's why we do a lot of the things we do, like even just toilet talk, is to talk about these things so people have an idea in their head when they're out there working, but also, hopefully new folks in real estate investing are going to be working with someone, taking some kind of a class, having some kind of coaching with someone who is ethical, because you can get coaches and mentors out there and they're not ethical. You need to make sure that you get somebody who's ethical, so that you have someone to help you out and deal with these these kinds of situations.
So I'm gonna say this to new and seasoned people in the business. I'm not gonna give titles or anything like that. I'm gonna say this: when you're talking to somebody who wants to sell a property, you need to ask them, is this your property? Is this property in your name? If they say, what does it matter? Then you need to move on. They shouldn't. But what you want to find out is, are you dealing with another wholesaler, or are you dealing with the actual homeowner? Because when you're dealing with the actual homeowner, you can do things that you probably can't do with the wholesaler.
Absolutely. Your options are bigger.
And the reason a lot of these deals don't sell is because people are putting stuff under contract just to be putting stuff under contract.
Yeah.
Now, I will put some stuff under contract that I feel is tight, and I will tell the seller up front, this is tight. I'm going to check with a couple of funds. They pay a little bit more money than the average investor. The average investor is not going to buy it at this price. I can tell you that right now.
Right.
But I'm like, I do have private equity funds and hedge funds that they can afford to pay a little bit more because they got to get a return. If that's something you're open to, we can try, but I can't make any guarantees. And most sellers respect the heck out of me for that. I'm like, look,
Absolutely.
I'm gonna try to get you some money. Yes, I'm making me a few dollars on top, but I'm not gonna get your property for 60,000, talk you down from 70, and then turn around and go sell it for 80.
Right.
Now everybody mad. So,
Right.
but yeah, I do have a minimum that I need to cover with my team and stuff like that. So uh, we can do stuff like that. But the other one is on the flip side, he who holds the contract controls everything. I don't care what they say. Remember, this is not a retail conventional transaction. Okay.
Right.
So in a non-retail conventional transaction, whoever has the assignment contract can do whatever they want to. Your end buyer doesn't want to close with your closing attorney or closing title office. Well, guess what? You don't have to sell it to them. Period.
Right.
I have used other end buyers, attorneys in new markets just to kind of help me out, build a little bit of trust. Thank God it's pretty much worked every single time for me. I
Sure.
don't think I've ever had it go south or anything like that. They're usually real buyers. But just remember, he who holds the contract controls the deal. So you do whatever you want to. Nobody can stop you. You don't have to close at their attorney's office. If they don't put up the deposit in 48 hours or 24 hours, whatever you say, you can go do whatever else you want to with the contract. They want to get mad, hey, move your feet. You snooze, you lose. That's just the name of the business.
That's right.
The market is still hot in a lot of places. So people are not waiting because they don't know what's going to happen. Inflation is going through the roof, and at some point, something's going to have to give. Let them gas prices keep going. Something's going to give. I'm just like, hey, gas, can you hold on just a little bit? I need 2 more months. I just need 2 more months. And if you want to blow through the sky, you go right ahead. I won't be holding anything. What's today's date? November the 18th. So
18.
Give me till January 18th. We should be good. So,
right.
But that's my Sunday piece.
Yeah. Well, and I think going along this with the truth and being professional, we before we got started, we were talking about people and their language and how they talk and how they write and post, etc. You have to remember when you're out there, you're representing yourself. And so how you talk to people, how you write, the language that you use portrays something about you. And I say all this, and in my private life, I can talk like a sailor. But in my professional world, no, no, no. And there's none of that on my posts. Oh, no, 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 no. In fact, the other day I sent out something that I thought was hilarious, and it had a curse word in it. And before I sent it out, I actually blacked out the curse word that was at the end. It wasn't even a bad word, really. But I didn't like it, so I blacked it out just because. And we have to think about those things. People don't want to do business with people like that. People are gonna think about certain things. You need to think about how you represent yourself and your business. The other, likewise, you have to think about doing business with folks who may be like that, because you may have a seller or somebody to do business with who doesn't want to deal with that. What you'll tolerate and what somebody else is going to tolerate, different. So just be cognizant of your actions and those around you, their actions.
That's true. I'm one of them people, I cuss in a heartbeat.
I do too.
But I keep it professional in the beginning, meaning I don't cuss unless the person I'm talking to cusses first.
Sure.
And I say that to say this. There was a point when I was doing a bunch of mobile homes at one time, and I must have met probably 4 pastors in a week. Didn't know they were pastors. Luckily for me, I didn't say, I didn't even so much as say the word damn, let alone some of the other stuff. You know, most pastors you can get away with saying damn and hell. You can get away with saying them too. That's pretty much it. And
Gotcha.
then and I was like, wow, another pastor. Wow, oh, here's another pastor. Man, thank God I didn't say anything stupid.
You're
You
down
know,
in the Bible Belt.
yeah. But you know, being holy and going to church is 2 different things. But that's a whole different discussion.
Yes. Yes.
So one day, for a house that I'm working on now, I messed around and said a couple of cuss words in front of the contractor. And I had already been talking to this contractor for like 3 or 4 days. Luckily, I wasn't saying anything bad, but I got my bubble busted because he's a GC. And I said, man, well, how do y'all get all this stuff or something? He said, oh, I'm a former pastor. I looked, I said, man, why didn't you tell me? And then his wife jumps and she said, it's okay. We're here way worse on the job site. I said, but I'm respectful. I said, they said, trust me. What we hear on the job site is nothing compared to what you said. I said, wow.
Sure.
I knowing and then still talk like that in front of somebody.
Right.
You know, it's just like you don't say certain talk in front of women because it can be misconstrued as, oh, he's machista or this or that, which I'm not, because a lot of times I prefer to work with women more than men, especially in an office setting, just because the egos aren't so bad.
Right.
That's just my experience. But you never know who is who, so just keep it clean. Let them go dirty first.
That's right. There you go.
So
I think
that's my 2 cents on the toilet talk today. Watch out for the wholesalers and be ethical. Be prepared that whatever market you're in, change is coming.
So you know, I grew up in the 70s and the 80s, and we lived according to the golden rule. So you treat others the way you want to be treated. And I think that says a whole lot in the industry that we are in. You know, so with that, I think Toilet Talk is done for today. Thanks so much.
Thank you,
Have
Kathy.
a beautiful day.
It is a beautiful day here, even though it's trying to rain a little bit. But considering how this week has been, today is a beautiful day. This is the longest I've been in front of the computer all week.
There we go.
So, thank you, Kathy. I'll see you on the
Thank you.
next one.
See you on the next Toilet Talk.
All right. Bye-bye.